It may seem like a long shot, but guess what? You can learn how to get motivated to be successful. Follow these steps and watch your life change. You know, motivation matters, right? You're trying to find a way to get motivated. You might be the type of person where you try to drink it out of a can, or maybe it's in something you eat to try to find motivation. Well, yes, nutrition matters, but motivation comes from another source. Real, true, dialed in, get after it motivation. Now, success requires motivation. So, wow, how do we get motivation so that we can be successful? Well, let's talk. Let's figure this out. No longer do you need to be sitting here wondering what it is you do to be able to wake up that power and that energy inside of you. Because you have it. Even though you feel like your motivation is down, you still have it in you. It just might be, just going at about a 1 mile an hour kind of experience, but you can rev that up when you know the proper steps to take. Now, for me, motivation, if we try to only get in our head or try to only get in our emotions, sometimes our thoughts and our emotions can be on lockdown. And so what I do, if I ever feel low in my motivation, I know I gotta get up and do something. Like physically just get up and do anything. Now remember, I'm talking to the person who wants to be motivated, right? Well, physical movement can generate a movement in your life. So if we just physically start to get up and move around and do things, we're gonna notice a difference. Now that movement, maybe it's not just from the couch to the floor, right? Or the bed to the couch, and then that's all you do. Movement needs to have a little bit more substance to it. Maybe, you get up and you walk around, and even if you're wandering around the house for a while, it can spark some motivation. Motivation is not always at 100 miles an hour. Sometimes motivation goes from 1 mile an hour to just 5 miles an hour of energy. And so when you get up and start moving around, you have begun the motivational experience in your life. Food plays a really big role. You eat manufactured, people-made foods in packages, you're going to lose motivation because you just don't have it in you. That's why real foods will make a difference for you. Like real life foods. When you go to the grocery store, there's that produce department. Those are real foods. Fruits and vegetables. Most of the time, people are really, really low on vegetables. We didn't like them as kids, and there's a lot of us that just don't like them as adults. We use a lot of other foods that are heavy foods that literally require a lot of energy to burn them up and to break them down and be used as fuel for us in our bodies. But there is a lot of other foods that are in that grocery store that can help us be able to feel alive. Live foods equal alive motivation. You use less of it, you have less of it. So maybe you want to check in on the foods that you've been eating lately and notice that pizza really didn't motivate you. It's sitting in your gut, heavy. And there's other foods that just are tough on our bodies. But with movement and some consideration about the foods that you're eating and changing a few of those things, you're going to notice a difference. Now, light. When you feel less motivated, you end up closing the blinds, closing the doors, darkening the windows, and literally hiding from the light. If I were you, get outside. Soak up some sun rays. Don't get sunburned, but get out there and soak up some light. That all by itself, that vitamin D that comes through the sunlight, can actually help. It really can get into us and who we are, because when we're low on vitamin D, we're low on energy. It's really tough for us to get going and do things in our life when we're low on that. In fact, one of my good friends, he told me, he goes, man, if everybody could get outside for an hour, not all at one time, 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there, 20 minutes another place, and literally be in the sunshine, he says, we'd be so much happier. We'd be so much more motivated, so much more excited about life if we could just get some sunshine on literally our skin. Sometimes I see us, we go outside and we completely cover up. Well, give yourself 10 minutes to totally just soak in the sun before it gets too hot and sunburn you, right? But light helps us feel motivated. You know what you do when you walk in your kid's bedroom? You go and open the blinds. You open the windows because you want them to get out of bed. Maybe that works for us as adults too. If we keep the blinds closed and we keep the doors shut, we leave the room dark, of course we're not going to be motivated. Or maybe you are in your office and you close all the blinds and everything and it remains dark. Tough to think of really great inspiring ideas when there's hardly any light coming in that room. If you're in a situation where you don't have sunlight coming through a window, go outside, take a break. Go outside and get it. Get your dose of the sunshine. It'll make a big difference. Now, nature, there's trees, there's bushes, there's streams, there's lakes. There's all kinds of things that can help you literally feel like you are alive. Now, there's also a lot of activities that people create, human-made activities, but I find a great motivation by really going for a walk through a neighborhood that has a bunch of trees, or going to the park, or finding a stream, or a small pond or lake, and literally spending some time in nature. There's a lot of great energy that comes from that. A lot of great natural energy that can literally help you feel like you're a human being again. And you can get back to that natural feeling that's inside of having motivation. What can make a difference is service. If we can't do something for ourselves to get ourselves going, maybe we could do something nice for somebody else. Just something. I've watched as individuals have picked service as a way of building their motivation, and they do these random acts of kindness. They silently pick these people and they go and do these random acts of kindness. Like when it's garbage day and you're driving down the street and you notice your neighbor's trash cans are not out. You go run up there, grab them, drag them down to the street. So they don't know who did it. But these random acts of kindness, they do something to us. Because if we can make somebody else's day good or better, we start to realize we can make our own life good and better. And sometimes this is a great primer, something that we could do to actually just get us to do something. But random acts of kindness don't have to be big, they don't have to be expensive, they can be very simple and very, very low on the amount of time that it takes to do the random act of kindness. If you got kids or a spouse, there's lots of things around the house you could do that you could surprise them. You could, unknowingly to them, you did something and they were like, oh, wow, this is cool. Who did this? And then it's your own little secret of the cool thing you did for them. But when we can make a difference in somebody else's life, sooner or later, that feeling transfers over to us. A random act of kindness for you today to be able to go out and do something could be the spark to get you to move. So, physical movement, go for a walk, get outside, get up off the couch, get out of bed, and just do a small amount. A little bit of better food, light, nature, service. You're going to notice a difference. Within a couple short days, you'll notice this natural feeling start to come to you. And if you're attempting to do these things and you still feel stuck, then here's the extra one I want you to know about. If you can't get your mind to start to wrap around getting up and being motivated, then something has you weighed down. Something's in your thoughts, something's happened, somebody said something, and it's dropped you. It's caused you to become feeling that heavy or low feeling. That, you get a piece of paper out or a pad of paper out and start writing down your thoughts and feelings so that you can start to move through that experience. If you're weighed down by something that has happened and you got nobody to talk to a pad of paper. Literally write it out. It's as though you're talking to the pad of paper. Write those thoughts out. Because unless you move those thoughts, they just sit there heavy. Because when they don't move, they just sit there. So grab a pad of paper, write down what recently has happened or who said what or whatever situation happened. But start to move that heavy thing that's weighing upon you. Start moving that out of you through writing. Then these 5 will make a difference for you. Well, here at 3 Key Elements, we care about your life and where you're going and what it is that you're accomplishing. And I know the reason why you clicked on this video is because it had a message for you. And the bottom line is, you're not stuck. All it takes is some small activities to begin to slowly build that motivation back. Pick one of these. Pick one of these. My favorite one is nature. Simple and easy. Nature doesn't have to be talked to, it only has to be observed and absorbed. So to get out there and just be part of nature, you'll know you feel different when you come back home. It's awesome. Take a step today because your life matters.